Just in a new shop which Professor Xu Bao from Chengdu has opened. He's now got 4 shops. And when I first met him, he only had one small one. And this is a fantastic place. It's very open. It's in a quiet area, and apparently there are at least 300 students over the time who come here. And he's helped by 2 very able assistants who run the shop. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's gone.
Yeah.
He's okay. Now this is one of the newest shops which Professor Xu Bao has set up, and this is his student Xu Rui who runs it, and Meng Shihao. Okay. I just want to say, why are you making so many guitar shops?
为什么你开了这么多家吉他艺术中心？
是这样，中国有句古话，就是师者，传道授业。
There was a Chinese.
是孔子说的。
Confucius used to say, "Teacher, the main job for teacher is to passing the knowledge and teaching the student to learn the word."
And how many students do you have in the 4 shops you own?
300, more than 300.
More than 300.
Early amateur student.
And each shop is managed by your students?
Yes.
Yeah, so
他们都有股份。
All the students who manage the shop all has ownership.
they have part ownership, yeah?
Of the ownership.
And is so what is the idea of this, to give them a living, to help them make a living?
他说：“您主要的对于学生的这种或者经营的理念是什么呢？就是帮助学生的他们有股份的这个理念。
因为很多学生考上了音乐学院学吉他，但是他们音乐学院毕业了，他们找不到工作。
It's very common for students who go to conservatory study guitar professionally, but they couldn't find a job when they graduating.
Yeah.
我呢，因为我弹吉他有40年，将近40年了，然后有一定的知名度，然后我就想利用我品牌的知名度呢，来创造一个新的市场，然后同时呢，给他们提供一个就业的机会，然后大家在一起呢，就提升这个市场。
Professor Xu has been teaching over 40 years, and not only for him to have the teaching for other students, but he also wants to use this teaching center to give his student the opportunity to help them have a job after graduating and help their living. And also, the main purpose is to level up the classical guitar market in China.
我们弹吉他首先要能够吃饱饭，能够有一个正常的生活，然后我们才能更开心的弹吉他。
The priority goal for playing guitar is to live well before they can play guitar happily and pursue the career.
And tell me about the proportion of the income in this place. Do you sell guitars or do you teach mainly?
他说想问一下您主要在这个吉他艺术中心的收入来源是什么？主要是教琴还是卖琴？
教琴和卖琴基本上是一半一半吧。
Teaching and selling instrument equivalently take a half percentage
of each of the income of this place, yes.
同时呢，我们做这个市场的同时，我们有了这么多的业余学生，然后这时候我邀请国外的演奏家来成都举办音乐会的时候，我们就有了一个基本的票房保证。
It's also to help support the inviting international famous artists to come over to playing, because have a large amateur student to come and listen and learning guitar. This is a way to help them to learn the instrument.
So I know the guitars aren't so cheap here. What is your idea of having guitars which are well made but not too cheap? So.
他说想问一下，他知道您这边的吉他价格不是卖低档的琴，他想问一下您对这个琴方面的理解。
是这样的，因为很多家长带孩子来买琴的时候呢，就讲一下刚才的这个故事，他都会问有没有很便宜的几百块钱的琴，一句句的翻。
It's quite common for parents come over and want to learn guitar. They were asking for instruments that cost hundreds RMB.
但是呢，我就会给他们讲一个故事。
But Professor Xu will tell them a story.
当我们年轻的时候，80年代我们学习吉他，我们买一把吉他需要付1到2个月的工资，父母1到2个月的工资。
When Professor Xu learning guitar in the 1980s.
还有其他的那些家长。
Also similar as other parents when they're young in the 1980s.
Yeah.
They were spending 1 or 2 months salary to having a guitar in order to study.
对，然后那么现在带孩子来学吉他的话，我觉得最基本的一个入门的条件也是需要用1到2个月的工资去给孩子买一把吉他。那么现在中国的家长基本上都富起来了，他1、2个月的工资可能就是1、2千美元。
Since Chinese market economy has booming so much since 1980s, equivalently their salary has increased. And when they considering buying an instrument for students, they are not just looking for guitar that is couple hundred RMB, but thinking the quality and the makers of the guitar and trying to encourage parents spend equivalent energy on their children to having a good quality guitar.
Yes.
大概就是1、2千美元的吧，现在。
It usually costs $1,000 or $2,000 to have a good guitar.
So you have many makes of guitar here, the different makers. Are they all in China?
他说您有卖很多不同制作家的琴，他们都是中国制造的吗？
绝大部分是中国制造的，绝大部分。
Most of the guitar maker, the guitar here they're selling is in China.
Yes, so they're made in China, and I notice you have some nice soundboards here.
Altamira, Martinez,
yes,
and Milestone.
Okay, so that's Altamira, Martinez, and Milestone.
Yes.
But Martinez and Milestone, they're from Spain and Germany. Germany. Then they live in China now.
Yes.
Yeah, so they now live in China.
Yes.
And do you consider the more expensive instruments to help the students become more serious musicians?
他说：“您觉得好的乐器能帮助学生增加他们对吉他的理解和认识吗？”
首先第一个就是我从业余学生的角度来讲，他如果刚开始学吉他的时候买了一把非常便宜的吉他，他很有可能半途而废。
He think definitely help students to sing a guitar seriously. First of all, if amateur student have a cheap guitar to start with, it's very often they will quit.
Yes.
After a couple lessons.
We all know this, I think.
家长可能也会不是很在意，反正很便宜，不学就不学了。
And parents maybe will have the same kind of concept since they didn't spend a lot of money and energy on helping their children. They don't mind or they don't care if their children wants to stop.
So most of the pupils, most of the students, they are amateur students.
他说绝大多数的学生都是业余学生吗？
对，在我私人的学校，绝大多数都是业余学生，但是我们会从中发现一些像匡俊宏一样的这样的好孩子，然后我们可以建议他走专业的道路。匡俊宏就是在我的学校，他先开始学的。
Most of the art center students are amateur students, and Professor Xu aimed to find talented young
Yes.
student and convince them to be a professional guitar player. There are a lot of guitarists from Professor Xu's studio was come from the amateur player,
Sure.
such as Junhong Huang.
Right.
Originally, he started studying guitar with Professor Xu in the art center.
Yes, as just a amateur
Amateur.
student. Yeah. So, are there many you can consider who will be professional?
他说：“您觉得现在您的学生当中有没有一些他会变成专业的吉他选手？”
有几个非常好的，我在亲自教。
There are several students he thinks is really talented and really has a talent on guitar. He have private lesson for them.
And what do you look for in these students? What qualities?
他说：“您在选择教学生的时候，一般看重学生哪些特质？”
最重要的是家长。
The most important thing he think is their parents.
对，家长热爱吉他。
The parents has to has a passion for guitar.
Yes.
对，这个是最重要的。
It's the most important thing he believes.
But what about the student themselves? Do they have a particular, maybe something in their physical makeup, their fingers, or is it in the mind, or?
他说：“那学生方面呢？学生有没有手指技能特别好，或者说是对音乐特别有灵性？”
这种手指技能特别好，对音乐特别有灵性的这种天才学生，在中国从来就不缺少。
There are so many talented students in China, and Professor Xu never worried to find a student who has both physical and intelligent to play guitar.
对，但是否能够坚持下来的，我觉得这个是非常重要。还有一个家长是否能够鼓励孩子坚持下来，这是最重要的。
But he thinks the most important thing is a student can persistently study guitar. And also with their parents' support of learning this instrument.
对，然后就是除了学习吉他，我觉得其他的功课的学习一样非常重要。如果只会弹吉他，走不远。
He also thinks that learning other subjects beyond guitar is important.
Yes.
If it's only learning guitar but without learning other knowledge, it won't help their music go farther.
对，我就举一个例子。For example,
Yeah.
文君
Yes.
文君，他现在12岁的时候跟我学吉他，然后现在20岁的时候去的美国，20岁吧？
是吧
？18岁去的美国，然后现在在美国已经读博士了，就发展的很全面，这个很重要。
I studied guitar with Professor Xu when I was 12. And I went to study at the United States when I was 18, and now I'm in the doctoral program at University of Southern California. And because Professor Xu always encouraged me to study other subjects and also study guitar, so that's why I can continue studying at
You
this
found
field.
it helpful, yeah.
Very, very helpful.
To go outside the guitar. Okay, well, thank you very much. Maybe you can just show us a little bit around this new shop, just so I can show. Yeah, so we can look and see the dog. Your latest student.
It's
a furious dog.
And we can look at the design of the studio. Can you tell me some idea?
就是这个房间并不大。但是呢，我把它分出了6个区域，7个区域。
It's not the very big spaces, but Professor Xu divided into 7 small sections that.
Yeah.
它有4间教室。
There are 4 classrooms. This is the first classroom.
Yes.
然后这是一个 接待的区域。
This is the entrance section.
Yes.
对，待会儿我们会在里面吃饭，这是我们的饭。
Very nice. Yeah.
然后这是家长休息
Yeah,
的区
you've
域。
got a sofa. Fantastic.
这个是家长休
This
息。
is a resting area
when you-
and a waiting area.
When you
Yeah.
practice for too long.
然后这个区域呢，就是小孩如果放学了，可以在这儿写作业。
This is the study area
Yeah.
for students
放学了可以
after
在。
school.
So I notice it's very open construction. What is the idea behind this?
他说您的这个空间设计的是开放式的，您的那个想法在这个开放式的空间上设计上的想法是什么？
因为我觉得弹吉他，业余孩子弹吉他最重要的就是开心。
The most important thing he think for amateur students to learn guitar is happiness.
对，如果说你把他们封闭在一间一间很小的房间里，
If you close the door and leave them in a sealed space,
那他会感觉很压抑。
and they will feel the pressure and
Yeah.
and the stress.
对，他如果在这种环境，他就会持续的学下去，每天很开心，跟同学在一起。
Having a study guitar in an open space such as like this place, they will feel happy and feel they can communicate with others.
They also hear each other practice.
Yes.
And that can encourage them.
这他觉得能听到大家弹琴，同样能够鼓励到学生的学习兴趣。
We're very used to having closed rooms so that we can't hear anybody else.
他说他非常经常就是在一个封闭的环境中练琴，然后听不到别人的声音。
But this is a nice idea, and I think it can work with people working together. It's very much in China. I think people actually make space for other people to do their things.
他说这是一个非常好的理念，他非常同意。然后在这个中国的环境中，就有一种互相人与人交流的理念在里面。这就是一种中国理念和音乐的结合。
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
对。
And now lunch. As usual, here's more food. Thank you. It's a great place to have lunch in the guitar studio. Thank you.